Hello and welcome. You are watching Talk to Addis program with me, your host Alula Brahani. In our today's Talk to Addis program, we will be staying with Mohammed Afifi, a Sudanese expert who lives in Addis Ababa. Do stay with us. Welcome, Mohammed Afifi, to our program.
Thank you.
It's a great honor to have you.
Honor online.
Good. So before we just begin our discussion, I will give you the chance to introduce yourself. Tell us who is Mohammed Afifi, what does he do, all these things a little bit. Just give them, it's good to listen from the horse's mouth to the audience.
Thank you very much. My name is Mohammed Afifi. I'm well known by Afifi, by the way, around the industry. I'm a broadcast engineer working for a company in Dubai called United Broadcast. We are specialized in media. I think I'm now roughly 18 years old, 18 years of experience across multiple sectors, but all within the same field. Been in Addis for the past 3 years, conducting few projects. The last one is, or the recent one, is with Addis Media for the upgrade, or actually for the new project for the FM section. It was wonderful for 3 years, actually. Hopefully, we will have additional 3 years.
Good. Thank you very much. So, from your perspective as a Sudanese living in Addis Ababa, so how would you describe, the nature of Sudan and Ethiopia relations today?
I think from historical point of view, the relationship has been very strong. Of course, as normal situation everywhere, sometimes it's a little bit cold or hot. But in general, if you are talking about the people, I think it's been strong since I can remember. Ethiopian been living in Sudan for a very long time there. Ethiopia was, I think, the first destination for Sudanese before they start moving across Africa, but it was the first. Similarity of people, I think, the look. In many other countries, for example, you can feel the difference, even shape-wise. Let's put it this way. And here, with exception to the language, you don't feel that much difference. I mean, the look, you feel you are between your brother, actually. Maybe only the difference is the tongue. The food is also similar to an extent. Still, the hospitality point of view, and I feel the kind of feeling you are having here is unique. Not like the rest of Africa, for example. Even if you compare it to our north neighbors, for example, you don't feel the same. Here you feel you are more welcomed, you are between your family, actually. So I feel, especially between the two countries, people-wise, the relation is maybe, I think, the strongest tie in Africa, I believe. Hopefully it will continue like this.
Of course, yeah, of course, it will continue.
But if I want to summarize this, I can say we feel home. Yeah. We feel home.
Of course. It's your home as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that was what about, to ask you. The similarities and shared values that the Sudanese people and Ethiopians have, which really fosters their brotherhood, and I know that, there are so many Ethiopians who live in Khartoum.
True.
Yeah, even my relatives, I know that. And there are so many Sudanese people who live here in Ethiopia as well. So like what you have said, there are much more bondage, similarities, even it might be in culture,
True.
in religion,
True.
even in the look of
True.
us, the face like
True.
that, all those things. So
True.
even we are neighbors as well. And again, we are children of the river Nile, Abba as well.
True. That's true.
There are much
That's
more
true.
bondage
That's
that connects us,
That's true.
and makes us to live together. So let's talk about these things. When you think of Ethiopia, what are the shared similarities? Like what you have said, you feel at home, I know that, but if you happen to express all these things, maybe if there are some stories which you like to share us, please tell us. Yeah, yeah.
I think the first thing is the family value. I'm seeing the family values here are one of the strongest in Africa. I mean, we share that. In the rest of Africa, of course, they have family bonds, but it's not as strong as those two countries. I'm referring to Ethiopia and Sudan. The family always, I believe, to an extent, it's coming number one. Maybe with the new generation is becoming a little bit loose, but in general, when you are looking at it, still the values, the old values that we really appreciate, the family, the relationship between the wife and husband, the hospitality, I mean, helping each other, sticking to each other. This is one of this is few of the very things that I feel like it makes us unique. For a guy like me traveling across Africa, I've seen, I didn't appreciate this until I've seen what's happening with the other countries. Those one of the very beautiful values here, and I really hope the new generation will understand the beauty of it. The beauty of it, yani feeling someone is backing you up, something you can turn on to. You are feeling welcome. If you are a guest somewhere, you are lost. People really willing to help you. You can see this, by the way, more and more stronger when you are moving outside the city. This is everywhere. It's not about Ethiopia. It's everywhere. When you go outside for the province, I feel people are still feeling the old-fashioned way, which is you can see the generosity and the hospitality of the people there. Again, as I said, the what do you call it? The food thing. We have a lot of things to share. Even, for example, the injera. I think we are the Sudanese. Maybe, at least this is according to my knowledge, we are the only people who understand the injera because we have something similar. It's a little bit thin, by the way, we call it kisra, but the same concept. Yani if you try to explain injera to anybody outside those two countries, he might find difficulties understanding it. I even recall our marketing manager when I tried to explain to it. He's like saying, so it's pancake. I was like, yeah, it's our pancake. Anyways. But if you try to explain it to a Sudanese, for example, he will understand it, direct. And this is one of the very few things I can relate to the food, for example. As I was mentioning, the hospitality, the value of the families, and even food, similarity of the look. Those most of the things that I feel like we have very strong similarities to. If you travel to I think the nearest country here is like what, Uganda, Kenya, maybe. This is the thing. You can feel the difference. If you are moving across the country, I can see you from a distance like, he's not from here. You cannot say this about an Ethiopian in Sudan. Unless you really look at him or he start talking, or a Sudanese here in some areas, they cannot tell. But if you travel anywhere in Africa, they can spot you from 1 kilometer away. You don't look like him. You don't. Here you feel at ease. Yeah. You can feel at ease. But overall, again, as you mentioned, the river things, I think we are sharing a very big border as well. So people are mixing from those sides. That's, I think, also start making a common ground. And when you are talking about like a long distance, like a decade or something. So basically, if I'm living in this area, which is a border, I'm getting mixed from this side. My children, or maybe even me, I will go to another city, so I'll be mixing there. So I feel the mix is greater than the rest of Africa. Between Sudanese and Ethiopians are way much bigger than the rest, even with our next neighbors. So in a way or another, we are, I'm not saying identical, but we are the same.
Of course, I see that. Thank you very much. The next one was, do you feel welcomed and integrated to Ethiopian community as a Sudanese expatriate?
Yes. Very much I like it. And I'm not feeling any type of, let's say, harassment from people, or like I'm being dealt as an outsider, or like this, no.
Can you speak some Amharic?
No, actually, unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough. All the people I'm dealing with are English speakers. So yeah, everybody is complaining about this. Like, come on, you've been living here for a long time. I said, like, I wasn't lucky enough actually. But I'm
most of the time people understand you speak English,
correct,
so
correct.
You're okay with that.
But my other fellow Sudanese, They are actually start picking up the language. Some of them are speaking fluent. I was impressed, honestly. But I always say some people are slower getting they are not lucky with the gift of learning the language fast. I think I'm one of them. I'm not lucky that. I'm not lucky enough, actually.
Okay, are there specific areas such as culture or education or religion where you see meaningful cooperation between these two people? For example, the culture was like what you have been saying. There is what you call family bondage, because people care about their family. And likewise, if there are, other religious aspects or educational aspects which you see, for example, if there are, I know that some Sudanese people who just have started schooling there and just come to Ethiopia and continue their education. So what do you see in this regard?
Regarding cooperation, now that's require a bigger picture, actually. Depends on what type of cooperation we are talking about. Religion is a religion, so basically this is a freedom for everybody. From this side although I feel like the religion part was a little sensitive here, I've noticed, and I think it need to be work about it, actually. And for example, when I'm talking about the different religions in Sudan and here, I feel we are a little bit more tolerant. I start my education, by the way, in a Christian schools, by the way. This is how tolerant we are. I've seen here some strange things, so I feel like from both sides, I'm not blaming one side, by the way, I'm blaming both sides. They are not really having that much tolerance. I've seen friends, to be honest, Christian Muslims are, but there are very specific things which really surprised. It's not like I'm trying to brag here, but I'm feeling like I've been spending all my time across Muslim countries. Let's put it this way. I'm seeing here people are trying to draw some sort of line, which is I don't feel it's accurate. Let's put it this way. Either from Muslim perspective or from Christian perspective. I have a lot of Christian friends. As I told you, I start my schooling in a Christian schools. So I feel this thing here is a little bit sensitive, a little bit, which I feel people need to work around. At the end of the day, we are all brothers here. And even when we are talking about Ethiopians, for example, they are actually family. So people need to understand we are not that much different. We are actually very much similar, more than you expect. So I feel it's more of it's more of a maybe culture sensitivity rather than a religion sensitivity, and people need to work on this. In multicultural, multi-religion countries, they have to start this from the very beginning, in a very small age, because basically you are passing to your children what you understand. Unless there is a stronger influence somewhere else which correct those beliefs. At the end of the day, we both believing in God, we pray for the same God. If your belief is different than mine, that doesn't make you better than me or me better than you. So I feel the religion part is the one that needs to be work on it. Education sector, if I want to speak about this a little bit, in Africa, I think all Africa, all with a few exceptions, we are very far. Actually, we are very far. We need more development on this. Now, if the science is science, let's put it there. Maybe apart from the social sciences or religion thing, those are the two subjects. The rest are the same. So. I feel there could be a common cooperation between the two countries. It will be saving money for the government both. If instead of, for example, Ethiopia or Sudan do all the development by itself to do what they call it, the leveling up the education quality, you are going to do the same. We can do joint venture on this. Because at the end of the day, if he's an engineer here, an engineer here is an engineer. Then they are going to study the same subject. If you are a doctor, it's the same. So and it will go to make even what do you call it, the equivalence or the thing almost easier. Because now, if I got my degree in Sudan, for example, I came here. I don't think the Ministry of Education require me to do any attestation, because actually it's the same subject that we both develop those kind of material, for example. That's my concern, or like my notes about the two subjects actually.
Let's come to the regional political developments, such as border disputes or peace initiatives affected. To what extent do you think that these kinds of things, border disputes and peace initiatives, which are happening in the region as a whole, you could say, in East Africa, affecting the Sudanese diaspora here in Ethiopia, it might be, or all over the region? What should be made? Because I see that when disputes and some peace initiatives are lacking, then there will be brain drain. Those experts like you and other educational people who could be of a great benefit and importance to those people, our brothers there, will never be there. So let's talk about this. What should be made? What is expected of you as to really help to sustain the peace of our brothers there in Sudan, and just to take things back to their status quo ante or normal situation, normalization? Because once you are educated, you have to have a great benefit to your society there. One way or the other, that's expected from the diaspora of Sudanese people. So what would you say about this one, and what should be made? What contribution can you do? Because let's start from the influence that you are having here. I mean, there are some good or bad whatsoever influences when you live in one away from your country. So let's talk about this area.
So the border thing. Let's agree to one thing, first of all. It's a man-made. If we're talking about like 100 years ago, there is nothing called border. Maybe, or it's getting blurry, let's say. If there is one certain kingdom here, they're saying, okay, our borders until the mountains, for example, and that's it. But it's still blurry, because this problem, by the way, happened, I think, just to give an example, one senior director, actually, of engineering in South Sudan. Can you believe this guy legally can obtain 3 passports? Because his tribe came in a very interesting point. When the borders happened between the 3 countries, his tribe being split into 3. So he can claim the passport from this country because I'm from this tribe, he's right, and he can get the proof. I'm from this tribe, which is here, which I can get, he's right, and he can get the passport. I'm from this. Now, this is a very interesting situation. You just draw a line, people were living, you didn't even bother to look at it, you just draw a line and said, okay, this is your share, this is my share. This is one, and that was, as I mentioning earlier, about the people mixing on those areas. So, if this is the line of the border, I dare anybody from this point say I'm a pure blood, or this side saying I'm a pure blood. He cannot. He cannot. Maybe his father and mother from this side, but if I go to his grandfather, it will be mixed from here. Not his grandfather, his grandfather mixed from here. Now, and to be honest, the second point, especially in Africa, maybe in other countries it's different, but especially in Africa, I believe those type of noises we are hearing about borders are just a political thing. The question is, and I doubt anybody will have an answer to it, did you finish developing your entire country and it just came to this piece that you are making all those noise about it? You did not. So it's just trying to show the power, trying to convince people I'm in control, whatever it is. I'm not talking about a specific side, by the way. I'm talking about both sides. Now, this now will open another subject or another problem about the ease of movement. If the African Union, for example, is talking about like Free Africa and United Africa and things, the question is, you want to come to my country, why you need a visa? Let's be honest here. My country, my government, your government, or his government are not going to feed me when I'm reached to that country, right? So why do I bother you coming? There is no specific answer for those type of questions. That's why I'm telling you it's a political thing rather than actual problems. And we should, if we are talking about like, and that's one of my concern about the African Union. This is one of the things that we should talk about it, like the freedom of movement. As long as me coming to you, or you going to me, or this guy visiting the other country, I'm not going to cost you anything. Then why, the question is why I'm not welcome? Why I have to go through all this process? Especially, I'm more concerned about the people who's in the borders area. His family in the other side, or his relatives, or things. At least, as a start, we should give those people special treatment.
Of course.
Okay, this area, for example, this border, this state is part of this border, this state is part of this border. At least there should be some sort of, how can I say, regulations for those people to move around. Back to my previous example of this guy, 3 countries, 3 countries, 1 tribe, 3 countries. So unless we start looking at the bigger picture, the border is going to be a problem. But again, if we go back to the roots, it's a man-made. It's a man-made. When we're talking about 100 years back, you can travel anywhere you like in Africa, nobody is going to question you. Now, from where those questions came? That's the thing. How come my grandfather or grandfather was a good man and somehow I became a bad person? I have to go through all those type of checks to get a visa to travel somewhere. Of course, I'm not saying this is as a generalized thing, because, of course, I will know the people who's defending those type of things, like there are criminals, there are people with bad intention, there is things, which I agree to it, of course. People are not the same, like 100 years back, that definitely, but things should be minimum. Things should be minimum, and that's going to what do you call it, to the help for everybody. Let's talk about you, for example. You are coming to my country looking for a job, for example. There, you work there. I might find some guy with the same degree, but not with the same background. You will contribute something to me. You will contribute something to the area, the new area you're coming. Either it's a culture, either it's a new way of doing things. Not because I'm doing this thing this way, that means it's the only way or the right way. Maybe your way is better. So sometimes it's not about only the hard knowledge or the, how can I say it, the university or whatever type of degree you have. It's the soft knowledge or the soft skills that you are bringing to me. Now, that can contribute to if people are serious about One Africa, for example, that will contribute to it. When I know more about you, I will be more understanding. More understanding means more accepting to you. Now, people are fighting. If you ask them what they are fighting about, you can be surprised about. It's just simply he doesn't understand the other person. That's it. So I think the freedom of movement is a requirement. If we are talking about peace across the country, a continent, if you are talking about all those visions they are talking about, it should be start with the what do you call it, the freedom of movement. Yeah. Then we can move. We have to start somewhere.
Let's come to the point of the contribution of the Sudanese diaspora in sustaining the peace and stability of Sudan, because I think it's good to give the responsibility to those Sudanese people, because now 2 Sudanese generals are fighting, and the conflict is among Sudanese. So the people are just suffering. The Sudanese people, they are migrating everywhere in different parts of Africa. So I think I would like you, as a concerned Sudanese citizen, to tell me about why don't we start or commence have dialogue, roundtable discussion as to make Sudan peaceful? Why do we Africans, specifically here in East Africa, I think it's a war-prone area, why do we always think through the gun? Why is that so? So in this regard, I think a great role is expected from those experts. I know there are many educated scholars of Sudan or region or Sudanese people who work in the United Nations in different parts of the world. So I think if the international Sudanese experts don't come together and have a roundtable discussion and interfere with these kind of things and make them, meddle the problem, it will never sustain, and the people will never get back to the situation where they were. So, what's expected? What should be made as a concerned Sudan citizen? Tell us about this one.
First of all, people should be agreed to one thing: no one is better than the other. First of all, so when I give an opinion, for example, it shouldn't be take with concern because I'm from X tribe or X, let's say, political party. I give you an idea. Don't say no because I'm just the opposition. Take it, evaluate it. Maybe I'm giving you a good advice. It's not because I always right or the X guy is always right. The question is, do we have the same vision? This is the fundamental. It's not about who's going to say what. The vision. Are we really sharing the same vision? The same vision is not my political view or even the religion. I'm one of the persons, by the way, or the people. I don't care who's going to rule. What's his religion? I don't care. At the end of the day, as I always give the expression, I'm not going to marry his daughter. I'm expecting few things. I'm expecting good quality of education, good quality of healthcare. I'm expecting, expecting safety. I can sleep at night. I can walk at night. I'm not afraid of something going to happen to me. If you can give me those, seriously, I don't care. Now, the thing is, if people agree to this, then I think we can move forward. But that's the starting point. It's not like I'm going to support this because I'm supporting this guy politically, or because he's a Muslim, for example, or because he's from the specific tribe that I belong to. No. If we are going to start this way, we are not going to move forward. The first very step is we should all agree. We have a common goal. Okay, we want this, we want this, we want this. Okay, you are from the X party, X tribe, whatever. What's your ideas? Okay, my ideas are 1, 2, 3. We are going to evaluate it. This guy is going to give us, okay, you mentioned one point, he mentioned another point which is better than yours, so we are going to mix this and this. But if I'm going to follow him or just listen to him blindly because I have personal interest, we're not going to move. Now, this problem is very common across Africa now. That's why I feel, even honestly speaking, I'm really sorry to say this, even if there is going to be a solution, it's going to be temporary. It's not going to be permanent because the goal is not that 100% unified. I recall when the protest, for example, just to give you an example, when the protest in Sudan started against Bashir, I mentioned one point people didn't believe then it happened. I told them, listen, everybody is against this guy. I said, this is not the problem. Are they all on the same path? Or now because we just have one common enemy and then we are going to fight? And it happened. He left, then they start fighting each other because they just united, not because their actual final goal is the same. No, we have just a common problem right now. Let's take it out, then we'll fix our other problems, which was them. Now, we have very great people, not even good people, in a very great positions everywhere. The question is, and that's going to be the problem, when they come to contribute, the first question will be asked not their qualification, not their ideas, their loyalty. I'm not here to help you personally. I'm here for a common goal. That's why I always believe, and that's why even after this war ends, I feel, I hope I'm wrong, but I feel many people, I'm not talking about the average citizen, I'm talking about the people that we really need. They are not going back. They are not going back because you will be asked, you will be questioning everything I'm going to say, you are going to question every move I make. Although, instead of questioning my motives, how about you validate my ideas? But you want to what do you call it? You want to qualify me as a person before qualify my brain, my behaviors, my attitude, my things, which it doesn't matter for you. When I'm putting what they call it, for example, let's say a curriculum for education sector, for example, what I personally do is none of your concern. You evaluate what I'm writing. Is it in bar with the culture value that we want to keep? Is it encouraging for the good behavior, for the good things that we can do to people? Is it encouraging me to be loyal to my country, not to a person or a tribe or thing? But what I do personally, that's not a concern. You want my brain, not my behavior. So again, we have great people. They can really do a lot, but you have to give them the environment that they can strive on. Otherwise, it's going to be a fight, personal fights actually, not ideas fight. Why you think your opinion is better than mine? You can answer yourself if you validate my opinion. But you want to accuse or you want to attack me personally, not my idea. Okay, I said this idea. If you don't like it, we are free here. Tell me why you don't like it. But you are accusing me of something not happening. You accusing me why you feel your idea is better than mine, or trying to get the feeling like I'm trying to look at you from above. Discuss the idea. Discuss the idea, not the person.